Hey guys! So Revlon recently launched a new collection of shadow palettes and they look like this. If you guys would like to find out more, see swatches, and see how they apply and wear, then just keep watching. Okay, so I was at Rite Aid the other day and I saw this display of shadow palettes like these, and each one had like a different characteristic or a different trait. So this one says the Maverick and it's the kind of warm tones. This one says Player and it's the wild shades. This one says the Original, it's mostly neutrals with a little champagne and tan thrown in, and Enigma are pinks and purples. So I thought it was really neat. They're basically encouraging you to be you, embrace who you are. If like you're the quirky one, embrace that. If you're the player, embrace that. So I thought that was really neat. These retail for $9.99 a piece and there were 5 total. I only picked up 4 though because they were buy one get one half off. You needed an even number to get the sale. So the one that I did not take was all neutrals. It had like mauve shades, tan shades, basic shades. So I wanted to give these a try. So let's read a little bit about these shades. The Enigma palette says, leave them on the edge of their seats, Enigma. Your unexpected looks and mysterious moves allure the crowd. Player, which is this one, says, stardom starts here, player. Show off your irresistible charm and powerful presence with supercharged shades. The Maverick, which is the red tone one, says, stand up and stand out, Maverick. You're a rebel with a cause who shines in one-of-a-kind color. And finally, the Original, which is this one, says, be true to you, Original. You are the first of their crew to try something new, the beauty boss with an authentic sense of style. So based on the descriptions, I would be this one, but I don't want to play with just neutrals today, so maybe we'll do a little bit of 2 different ones. Okay, and in full disclosure, I did film this yesterday. I used these beautiful lime green and olive green. I used some of these oranges, some of these champagnes from this shade, and my microphone was not plugged in, so I had absolutely no sound, and the light was really off. It was like bright and blurry, so I couldn't use it either way. So today I figured I would try some different colors and see what I can come up with. So since I'm already in red, I know I'm going to be using the warm tone palette and probably the Original palette. Then perhaps I can use a little bit of the green as like a pop, but I don't want to be too Christmassy. Or maybe this icy blue, that might be pretty. But then I might be patriotic red and blue. I don't know. You know how it works. I figure it out as I go along. Alright, so let's start with some swatches from each of the palettes. Start off with the Enigma, this purple one. Okay, so these are shades from the Enigma palette. First off, they swatch beautifully, but my one complaint is that these pans are very, very small. They remind me of the size of the Maybelline and Gigi Hadid palettes. Pans, they're just very, very narrow. So, I mean, I don't have the thickest fingers, but it's a challenge to just get one color even when swatching. And if you're using larger brushes, you're probably gonna have the same issue. But they're super smooth. And I should mention that these claim to be 24-hour wearing. So I wonder, I'm not going to be sleeping in them, but I will wear them for at least 8 hours and let you guys know what I think. Yesterday I had them on from 8 a.m. until I would say about 9 p.m. They didn't budge, they didn't move, they didn't crease. So they are long wearing. Alright, so that is Enigma right here, 4 from the Enigma palette. Next, let's check out the Player palette. They do swatch very easily. I mean, look at this. Icy blue, beautiful lime green, olive green, matte brown. They swatch really well. They're pigmented. No complaints there. Next, we'll head on over to the Maverick palette, which is the red tone one. Gold, orange, copper, orange. The pigmentation is pretty consistent between palettes, mattes and metallics. And finally we have the Original. Doesn't seem like there's a whole lot of variety in this palette. Ooh, that's pretty. Okay, so the second one's kind of like my skin tone. This first champagne-y shimmer one is really pretty. This gray is a nice shade. It's like a grayish shade. So of the four, that one piques my interest the least just because it's all neutrals. But I'm sure you can get some really beautiful looks from that palette. Today I'm going to go into the Player palette first and grab this matte shade all over the lid. Now using a brush this size, it's kind of hard to stay in this palette. I'm ending up having bristles in the gold, which is not what you want for a base color. Then I'm going to go into the Maverick palette and I'm going to grab this orange shade right here. Yeah, can you guys see this? I'm dipping in and I'm getting gold and I'm getting copper. So it's kind of hard to be specific on what you're grabbing with this pan size. Okay, so it blends out nicely. It's pigmented. No complaints there. I'm next going to go into this red shade on the outer corner. Okay. Next, I'm going to go into the Player palette and grab this kind of deep brown. And I think I want to smudge it along the lash line, so I need a different brush. I'm going to use my Alamar Cosmetics brush. And I just want to smudge it along the lash line. Okay, so that looks nice. Now I just have to decide what I want to use on the inner corner and the lower lashes. This green is really calling to me, but then that looks very Christmassy. So perhaps if I do maybe a green to blue ombre on the bottom. Let's try that. It sounds really wild. I'm going to start with this blue color, fade to the green, kind of gradually and see how that works. I don't normally put blues on the lower lash line, but I really want to try these colors. And then the kind of tealy shade. And then the icy blue, I think, or the green. I think I'm gonna do icy blue.
Ooh, that's really bright.
And then I think I'm going to go into the original palette and grab that icy champagne shade right here for the inner corner. And for the brow bone. Okay, I'm just going to go back and smudge a little bit more of the brown from the Player into the lash line. All right, let me hop off, add a little mascara, and I'll be right back. Okay, so I went ahead and applied a little bit of the Essence Supercurl Volume Mascara. This one's really nice for the lower lash line. The top lash line, it does an all right job. So this is what the shadow looks like all finished. I really like the way it turned out. However, I find these pan sizes to be very problematic. They are very thin. When you dip your brush into one, you end up getting 2 or 3 different shadow shades on your brush. The exception to that would be if you use very small brushes or if you use your fingers and you have very thin fingers. The shadows are beautiful, they blend really well, the metallics are stunning, but I would not continue to use these because of the small pan size and how difficult it is just to get a standard blending brush in the pans. So for that reason alone, these are going to be a pass for me. But as I mentioned, if that is not a problem for you, definitely head on over to Rite Aid, your local drugstore, and pick these up. The colors are beautiful. They last a really long time. So I hope you guys enjoyed this swatch and try on video of the new Revlon Color Stay palettes. If you did, please give this video a thumbs up, subscribe to my channel, and as always, I will see you in my next video. Bye guys. 11 hours later, the shadow is still going strong.